Hello and welcome back to LTC Heroes Live by Experience Care. My name is Peter Murphy Lewis. I am at the Florida Healthcare Association Convention in Orlando, and I'm excited because I am talking to Brittney Tyler. She's the Senior Executive Director at Apopka Health and Rehabilitation. Brittney, welcome to the program.
Hi, Peter. Thank you for having me.
Brittney, I already have a little bit of information on you, so we're going to start right there.
Okay.
Kristen told me that you help her out a lot. You told me you help her out a lot. You're on social media. Tell me why you're passionate about this organization. What have you learned here? What have you learned from your peers? Why are you donating your time to help out Florida in the long-term care?
Yeah, so I look at my job as every day, it's my day of giving back to, the long-term care population. I'm a servant leader. So though I'm on the operations side as the administrator, it's my job to make sure operationally things are functioning appropriately. And I go to bedside. So even though I'm not clinical, I'm not a nurse, my initial reason for getting into the profession is I was a nursing major. I thought I wanted to do bedside care. And my mom is a nurse. And so I did a little bit of volunteering in the hospital setting, and I said, I don't think this is for me. And so she encouraged me to look into an administrator in training program. And through that program, I was able to see operations in a skilled nursing facility in the long-term care. And that's what led me to long-term care.
Tell me a story that confirmed your mom was right about you and that this was the fit for you.
Oh.
And it can be a story with a resident. It can be a story with a peer that loves the same seniors that you do, or it can be a story about how your mom knew something about you before you did.
So confirmation, I guess, would be, I'm trying to think of something that gave me that. I don't know. I mean, just being here at the conference. So my mom, like I said, she's an ALF owner now, but as a director of nursing throughout the conference, I've been meeting so many people that have been connected to her that now know me that I don't even know. And we all share the same passion as administrators, directors of nursing. So I guess just seeing that translate from her to me and, now they're my colleagues and started off with her first is probably my confirmation that this is where I belong. I remember even being in college, seeing some of them, going to visit her coming from work. And so it's just a blessing to know that everything that I do on a day-to-day has impact in somebody's life.
True.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, and feel free to take as much time as you want.
Okay.
Kristen introduced you as the up and coming generation in our association. What do you want to do differently? Where do you want to take long-term care in Florida 10 years from now? The older generation gave you this, they improved it here, there, this way and that. What's the next thing that you got to do?
So I just feel like it's important that I think the younger generation understands what healthcare leadership looks like. And when I was going through college, I didn't really see a lot of women in healthcare. I saw it as more of a male dominant industry and just enjoying it. I feel like I've never wanted to just be the average student. I always did extracurricular activities and things of that nature. So within my profession, I don't want to just be an administrator at the center level. I want to make sure that I'm having impact in the community. I want to make sure that my volunteers are coming in from the schools. We're doing reach back for those that want to be healthcare administrators. I sit on the board, the Florida Board of Nursing Home Administrators. I was appointed by the governor this year. And so that has really opened my eyes to being able to have influence on my peers. And it's just been a learning experience overall.
What's been the biggest learning curve, specifically now that you're on the board? You see, when you're young, you're ambitious, you want change as fast. Now that you see that there's a lot more moving parts, what's something that you understand today that maybe a year ago you didn't, and you appreciate the generation above and the work and the footsteps, the footprints that they've made?
So within this industry, within getting involved within Florida Healthcare Association, I've learned that we have more impact than we think, as it relates to healthcare policies and, the legislative session and going up and lobbying every year and really being able to just tell stories on, things that happen in our centers, real time stories. Those are the things that they remember when they go into making those decisions, and how it impacts us, I think, is significant. And so just being able to educate them on our day to day and making sure that they truly understand how making some of those decisions will affect us it's key.
Tell me about your favorite part of the job, and get as much
Ooh.
as you want into the details. And it can be as trivial as you want. It could be sitting down at lunch, or it could be hiring CNAs because you're going to watch their life change.
Yeah. So my favorite part of the job, I am one that I like to take a challenge and make it better. And so what I've noticed in my history in certain buildings is I've taken on those challenging buildings that, are utilizing agency and having some issues with staff, and just getting in there and building the morale and the culture in that center. It's really just people like interacting, like me and you are having conversation here, and getting to know my staff members. What do they like to do? What do they want? I noticed that, like, for companies I've worked for before, you get hired and these are the rules, and I kind of let them help make those rules. Like, tell me what you like to do. What would you like for recognition? Not just me saying, oh, I'm going to order pizza and wings. What if they don't want pizza? They want Chick-fil-A, So um I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. I've got a question for you. So
Okay.
you have a unique background. You have it in your DNA. Your mom's taught you. Your mom pushed you. You have an
Mhm.
MBA.
Ew.
You're young. You're female.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is, I guess, what's something? Everything looks easy in my first 30 minutes of meeting you, but something's really hard for you.
Ooh. Our job is hard. We're dealing with humans, we're dealing with families, we're dealing with complexities within the industry. And I guess that goes into like what drives me on a day to day. And it's just knowing that, like, our residents are in, some of them are in their last days, and some of them, they don't like it coming in and then they grow to love it. And for me, that's like the sincere gratitude I feel, knowing that, okay, maybe they came in and they didn't want to be in this environment, but now I know who they are. I know what they used to do in their past life. We, tailor the activities to meet whatever they're suggesting. I'll give you an example. In my facility, we have a men's club, and they have fake cigars and alcohol, and it's something that they wanted. And, usually people are like, oh, no, we're not doing alcohol. Right. And so, with, of course, the approval of doctor's orders, we were able to make that happen. But that's from getting feedback from our residents. Those are the types of things that I feel are rewarding in my job.
I think my last question for you, Brittney, is, where do you gather up information? Being someone
Mm-hmm.
as educated as you are, you read books, you consume podcasts, you get lots of newsletters, you're probably participating in 5 sessions a day.
Yeah.
How do you digest? I'm interested in the way that you filter information and turn it into productivity.
Yeah. So, social media. Nowadays, that's where you get information, sometimes quicker than news outlets. I read, it's my profession, so I have to stay educated on what's upcoming, what changes are coming, how it's going to impact me. Those are the things that really drive me too, is being educated so that I can share the awareness with some of my peers, because being an operator is pretty busy, and so sometimes you don't have time to digest material. And so just networking, utilizing my previous nurse consultants, asking for them to dissect new regulation changes and updates. That's probably where I get the majority of my information, and then sharing it in like a group text with other administrators so they know.
I have one more question
Yeah.
for you before we wrap up. If I were to ask 5 of your direct reports or 5 of your staff,
Yeah.
what is one thing that you say most often? What are they going to quote with your voice, with your
Oh my
accent?
gosh. Very good is number one in the morning meeting. Very good. Um, They say that when I'm speaking, I speak with my tongue. Which is weird. They impersonate me all the time. It's so weird.
That's awesome.
Good. Man, very good is like the number one. I'm always like very good. Like I start my meetings with kudos. I start the day with positive affirmations. I try to set the tone for the day. As the administrator, I know when I go in, positivity. If I'm down, my team feels it. If my team feels it, it trickles down to the residents. And so for me, I'm really disciplined and hard on myself. I want to make sure that whatever energy I give off transcends to my team and transcends to the direct care.
Lovely. Brittney, thank you so much for spending time with me at LTC Heroes. A pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for having me.
And
this is awesome.
And in your words, your energy and your passion, very good.
Thank you. This is awesome.